Okay, we're ready. Stephen, are you ready to start?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do this.
Oh, fuck, it's the wrong one, Steve. What's this one, you fucking moron?
I said it was a bad idea.
What's that?
It kept coming back to me with more and more numbers saying, oh, you know, it's been 50 years since the release of the movie. It'd be so popular, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, who's directing? He said, you. So I said, okay, but if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right. We're gonna make it feel like it's the celebration of the best shark to have ever graced the movie theater. I said, look, if I'm doing this, I want to oversee all the auditions from the beginning, and I want open auditions. Let's see what the people bring to this role. There's a whole sea of talent out there that doesn't get a look in. Let's check them out. And that was my first mistake.
There we are. That's a good evening. No idea. Sorry, just get through there. Mind your head. Sorry, I need to sit down. It's a bit bigger than I thought.
So, which part are you going for?
When did you realise it was starting to go wrong?
When the choreographer decided to make the shark dance.
Okay, we're gonna go with a physical theatre approach for Jaws with a beat poem. Think, misunderstood. Think, lost and alone. Think, bloodthirsty and hungry. But also, just a lonely shark that wants to make friends in his own special way. Okay. When you're ready.
I misunderstood. Just want to be your friend. I'm only a shark. But my bite is bigger than my bark. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, look, a child on a surfboard. There goes the head. There goes the head.
How did you feel about the musical choices?
Well, that's when it went from bad to worse. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the songs are really catchy. Brody had this gorgeous song for when his son was nearly killed, and the duet between Quentin and Hooper was an absolute hoot. But the problem was with the shark. They gave him a tap dance at one point. You know, I really had to put my foot down. They wanted him to sing this huge power ballad about how misunderstood he was after being shot. Don't get me started on the audition process.
No,
Are you still happy to tell us what happened?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I thought this was going to be a turning point in my career. I've done a voiceover for comparing the mongoose, but where I need to sing, and my agent assured me this would be my big break, so to speak. Now, I knew there are lots of people going for this role. I'm not really a singer as such, so when I realised Jaws would be a lead singing role, I started to notice red flags. But I was being constantly reassured by my agent that I could do this in a kind of rough, round the edges sort of Jaws was exactly the kind of actor that Stephen was looking for.
Where did you get the costume from?
Funny you mention the costume, really. I've been to so many auditions in the past, so I've been in blacks and tried to show professionalism, but there's a black canvas and to be trumped to the parts by other actors who want a costume of some sorts to represent the role they were auditioning for. Clearly there are many directors around who have absolutely zero imagination. And after taking further advice from my agent, I decided to do exactly that when auditioning for the role of Jaws.
But where did you get it from?
Oh, I didn't buy it. Oh God, no, I wouldn't spend money on this bit of shit. My niece and nephew made it there on half term. But it's happened to that playful, misunderstood, wanting to be a friend character that Stephen was looking for. It's an absolute bucket of shit over here.
Can you tell us about opening night?
Oh, darling, I wish I could. We never made it that far. We were told the show would open at St. James Theatre. Very exciting, of course. Last time I performed in a theatre would have been on a stage at Butlins in Skegness. Far too many shares. I was performing How Do I Live Without You by Leanne Rimes. Now I'm going to be in the same theatre as Broadway greats such as Katharine Hepburn, Matthew Broderick, and even Mr. Copacabana himself, Barry Manilow, and that was me, taking on the iconic role of Jaws, the bloody shark.
What happened?
Oh, I wish I knew. There's only a handful of people that know the truth about why that show was cancelled, and I'm certainly not one of them, darling.
Would you like to tell us what really happened, Stephen?
Not really. But I owe it to the fans. First of all, I want to apologize. Not just for cancelling the show, but to agreeing to do it in the first place. I should have left poor Jaws alone, let his legacy speak for itself, but I didn't. I realized we had to pull the plug when the reactions from the press interviews were seen.
What would you say to fans of the movie how wanting to book the tickets?
Oh, I'd say don't bother. It's nothing like a movie. This is a show for musical theatre lovers who want to see something absolutely balmy. True fans of the film should avoid it like the plague.
So that absolutely crushed our ticket sales. We found we were giving them away. And what makes it so ridiculous is that the only large group who booked to come and see was the American Shark Conservancy for the Protection of Sharks. They literally protect sharks. And they went to see a show that, well, the whole point is to kill the shark.
What do you think will happen to the show? Will we ever see Grace at stage?
I'm not sure if grace is the appropriate word for this musical. I'm struggling to even call it a musical, or even just a show. It's an absolute atrocity. But the rights are out there. I figured since we've made it, we might as well allow other companies to do their best with it. See if they can bring in audiences like we failed to do. Let's be real, amateur theatre nowadays can be even better than the professional stuff, so I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Was there anything at all that you were proud of?
Mummy.
Deciding to cancel it. No, there were some good moments. Credit where credit's due. The makeup team, they did really a great job with the blood and the facial look of Jaws. John, the guy who played Jaws, was great. He was happy to wear the face, painting, and it was super realistic. The teams working on the script did a really good job at adapting the film for theatre. We obviously couldn't create the sizes of certain things, so the classic line, "You're gonna need a bigger boat." changed. And when they hit me with, "You're gonna need a bigger coat," which ended up being a massive tap dance number where Jaws is donned in a coat and dances with Quint, Brody, and Hooper. Well, I just knew we were on to a winner. Part of me would have loved to have seen that perform somewhere. And hey, it was great to bring back my love for this shop. Jaws was a huge part of my life. It was a real joy to reminisce those moments from 50 years ago. I guess there are some things that should be left at the bottom of the ocean.
Since we finished filming, Stephen is now working on his new musical E.T.T., The Tale of the Extra Tapping Terrestrial. John has gone back to Butlins in Skegness as a redcoat and is now hosting the karaoke champion competition every Saturday night. Jaws the musical went on to become a huge hit in the UK, selling out across the West End and extending its run into April 2027. The song, "I Wish I Was Human," sung by Jaws at the end of Act 1, reached #1 in the